I'm Tony Tom. I am the co-founder and CEO of Orca AI. Orca is an account-based AI-first customer experience platform for B2B companies. So we enable companies to bring together all their customer experience points, touch points, and then use it to give them a much better customer experience. A friend suggested it, and then when I thought about it, Orca, basically they are really good communicators, really good organizers, and our product is all about like good communication with customers and good communication throughout the life cycle of the customer. That's one core philosophy that we use. And then organizing everything that a customer comes back with, that's also something that we do as a product. So it felt like it fell into that name. It's not like specifically we researched for it or did anything there. It just came to us as a random stumbled upon thing. Even before Pain Points, Chargebee was kind of like a de facto, because I've seen Chargebee throughout my career probably. The previous startups that I've worked with, Chargebee was like kind of the one that we always go to. And the founders of Chargebee, like the light holders of where I come from, being a startup, it's an inspiration to see a company this big grow out of where we are from. I'm from India, I'm from South India. And I used to be next to Chargebee office for a very long time. I used to work there. So that is like, all of this combines together, comes like Chargebee is a de facto choice for me. We have a unique billing process as well. Like the way that we bill is not like a regular SaaS company. We price based on the number of accounts that they use, and it's a very it's not really usage based, it's not really SaaS like per user pricing. So it's a unique space that we are in, and we want to push that specific philosophy across to our customers as well. And that is where we'll be able to like use probably the customizations of the product and then deliver that experience down to the customers. And then on top of this, we want to do PLG. So it's a pretty complicated billing, as you can see. So that is one thing that I look forward to like scaling up. I don't know if you can call it hybrid, because we don't care about how many users, but we want all the users to be in there, because the value comes from that. And then the scale, how do we scale the pricing, is basically a SaaS question that you get from companies, right? And the way that we do that is, if the company that are buying us is growing, for sure their accounts are always growing. That's the way that a company grows. We sell to B2B companies, and then when their account is growing, you pay us. If you are not growing your accounts, that is not a good sign for you, that's not a good sign for us. So that is like equally beneficial for our customer as well as us. And then we scale with them. That is kind of like the philosophy that we bring to the pricing as well. So if you don't scale, you don't pay us huge amounts, you don't have to worry about pricing on our end. But if you are scaling, that is good for you. We'll just manage everything for you on the customer end and like pay us based on that. So we started using Chargebee as a product even before when we started this product that we are building. So even the previous product that we were building, we were using Chargebee. But when we started doing a little bit of a gating, a little bit of different invoicing, the customizations and the objects, like the segmentations of different functions, and then plugging it all together within a single platform is something that we saw as like if you want to only see invoices, you can go to a specific place as a platform. So if you only want to, let's say, look at subscriptions and the accounts and subscriptions, you can go and find that in a specific place. But it's all linked together as well, and you have a way to link it together, which kind of does the job for me as a platform. That is what Chargebee is doing. So I can understand where exactly I should look in terms of understanding which are the accounts that I am billing for this particular tier that I have as a pricing, or go into subscription specific window and then find out like which are the subscription tiers that I have. Those are the things that I think makes sense for me overall from a platform standpoint. Just build workflows on top of it to kind of like do some automations is something that I would love to do. Like, hey, somebody's credit card is kind of like expiring next month, and I don't know about that. I can go and proactively prompt them, hey, your card is like expiring next month. Especially for PLG customers, I can do that through the product with an API call. That is one thing. If I can like do package different things together, let's say I have some AI components and then I have some feature components, I can just push it back to Chargebee and like come up with a pricing template within the Chargebee and then bring it back to customers. So it's kind of like an a la carte menu that I can give in my product and then like bring it back to Chargebee, price it based on that, and then come back. That would be something that is really interesting to see, because I haven't seen enough provisioning platforms or the pricing platforms do that as efficient as it should be. But it can be done. As a product person that has built products, I know it can be done, but it's like hard to do for sure. It would be a really good superpower to have. We just experiment with everything that we can think of, but we don't limit ourselves to not do that. So account-based came up as a random experiment in the book, and then it turned out to be really good because people start to resonate with it. And the one thing that I see across the industry that we are seeing today is basically, how do you price usage-based? It's a big question, like, because it's predictability being going out the window whenever you look at it. But that's not the case with account, because they are a little bit comfortable seeing I am growing at this point, so I don't have to worry about it. It's a good problem to have for them, my customers. That's a random experiment. I also try out different hybrid models. I don't believe in like, hey, if you scale your users, if you scale your team, you're not like have to pay us this much. Trying to build a hybrid model, which is where my workflow request came from as well. Like, hey, can I plug in a little bit of AI, a little bit of everything from different locations, and like try to see if there's hybrid model work in place. Maybe even limit users in that hybrid model. Like, you can have viewed users, you can have AI only users, you can have maybe platform only users, Slack only users. Those are the things that we want to experiment with, and then try to see if there's a pricing that fits there. It's like there are places where you can easily innovate, and this is the place where you cannot easily innovate. And if you do a good job there, what I think is that's a good differentiation as well, because user-based pricing is kind of going out the window. Two things. The reason is because, one, we are not gonna see probably the user scale as we saw in the SaaS ZIRP era from here on. Like, you might not need like 2,000 people to scale a billion-dollar company anymore. You probably can do it with 500. In that case, can you scale with users as you did in the past? May not be the right way to do it. So you have to figure out the right hybrid model that looks to the future and then go through with it. Definitely the revenue incoming, like the cash flow as well as recurring revenue, monthly recurring, annual recurring. That is something that I can just like simply go into the dashboard and like log in, one click, I see that. One thing that I potentially would love to see is like, can you send me a Slack notification every time it goes up, it goes down, something payment fails? That would be. Yeah, one obvious thing that we all see is like the usage-based pricing model. That is definitely very interesting, because how does someone really figure out what is the usage that you want to cap at, right? Because it's really counterintuitive. Like, you want your customers to use your product as much as possible. That's kind of like the default SaaS metric that you measure, like usage versus success metric, right? Then you're capping the usage. Then is success metric being capped a really good thing? It's a really interesting question. So usage-based pricing, I'm not really a fan, but I'm fascinated by how people are trying it out. And yeah, talking to some of the AI companies, I saw like, hey, if you're capping it and then you hit that cap, you see that as a success, which is like, I don't know, how do you define that? That is one thing. Second thing that I see is like outcome-based pricing. Now, what I see is like AI models come out really well recently. Probably in the last 3 to 6 months, we have seen a huge impact in how models evolve. And then outcome-based pricing is probably something that we can very well define, because model is getting to the 95th percentile where you can define an outcome and it can say whether it's done or not, and you can trust it as a human would say, pretty much. And human also have errors, right? Humans do have errors. So that is second one that I'm like really fascinated about, the outcome-based pricing. Those are the two ones that I kind of want to really see how it plays out. The hybrid models are still like, I think it will continue to be experiments as we grow. It will be things that we have to figure out, things that each company might be having a unique model. SaaS was all, hey, this is a package, this is the right packaging. It's all like same. If you go to like 100 SaaS companies, it was all the same. You could easily understand that. Now, probably hybrid is the one that stays. Another interesting model that I've seen is Clay, by the way. So Clay has different levels of pricing. You get in as a user, maybe like you pay a little bit, and then you pay for tokens, and then you pay for models, and then you pay for probably external things. So it's a really good marketplace model evolving as well, where you can just bring in, yeah, I can plug into Clay my system, and then like Clay can sell probably my system's tokens, and then it becomes a hybrid marketplace altogether. That is something that I think will evolve. If you're not showing pricing, you're not getting customers, is what I think is like seeing across the industry so far. So you need to, like, two things that I'm realizing: you need to show the product. You cannot hide the product behind a wall anymore. You need to like have a motion where you can like enable people to come in and just try it out, like, or see at least what is happening. The second part of that is same with the pricing. You need to see, you need to be able to calculate it on your side. You need to be able to like see the hybrid models. You need to see what is getting delivered on specific pricing, etc., etc. So that is also something that I think is gonna be a de facto. Like, you don't have like talk to us to find out the pricing is not gonna be something that I think people will agree to. Except maybe very few use cases where I am ready to spend, like I have a budget, I need to come down and figure it out. Probably that is there. But if you're buying a software, I think this is kind of becomes the de facto. You need to show the pricing.